Hey guys, welcome to more Mega's Puzzle Party, and today I'm going to be doing Tetris for the Game Boy, and I'm using the Super Game Boy on the SNES. But yeah, this is the game that kind of started the puzzle craze, I think. Obviously there was an NES Tetris before this, but this I think is the one that a lot of people played simply because it was handheld. It's the one that made the Game Boy very popular, I think, in my opinion. Though actually it's a shorter field than the regular Tetris, so in some ways it's also a little bit more tricky because you have less room to work. And for those of you who now start playing, play this now in this day and age, you're probably like, well, where's the hold item button that the new Tetrises have? You can hold a block and switch. There's a lot of new fancy stuff that isn't in old Tetris. Not a ton of fancy stuff, but a few little things. Yeah, this is a pretty fun game, honestly. And I like to think I'm not really the greatest at Tetris. There's some people who can do T-spins and all those fancy moves. I think T-spins. There's like some that can score you a lot of points. I'm not that good at that stuff. I'm just good at lasting for a while, especially on like Facebook Tetris and stuff like that, and Tetris on the DS, which I'll probably be doing at some point too. That one's really fun because that added a bunch of Nintendo characters, and it's probably the best recent version of Tetris. Like, they keep re-releasing Tetris. I'd say get the DS Tetris. That'd be one of the better ones. I'd just get that and then be done with Tetris and just have a Tetris forever. But yeah, this one's good. I mean, I definitely, you wonder. You'll have people saying like, well, I don't want to play the new Tetris because you have to use the whole item block. I want to do classic Tetris. That's the true Tetris. I don't know. I mean, it changes how you play a bit, but this it still holds up. I mean, it's still Tetris. It's not like, fancy gimmicks or not. It's still solid. It does control slightly different. Like, the blocks move a little bit more clunkier, but you can quickly get used to it. I'm gonna try and go for 100 lines. I think would be a good place to stop for this. And obviously, as you go further, it will go faster. That's typically how Tetris works. There's also an A mode and a B mode. There's also various, this is the A Tetris. I decided to use that theme. There's also the B Tetris and C Tetris themes. B Tetris, I believe your goal is to clear like 20 lines and then you move on, or I can't remember. It's slightly different. It's not that different. Just go with regular A Tetris. That's what I would do. But yeah, this one is yeah, I like to think that I'm decent at Tetris. But that said, I'm sure people can do better than me at Tetris. I'm not the master of Tetris. I just think I'm the best in my circle of friends, but that's not saying much. There was a while back, a few years actually now, like 2 years, everyone got into Facebook Tetris, and like there was a whole big push to see who would get the highest score on all the modes of because there's the Facebook Tetris. I don't know if they changed it, but they had different modes. There'd be like, there's the regular Tetris mode, but then there's like Touch Tetris or something, and like, was there score? Like, there's like score so many lines in a certain amount of time, and I eventually got to the point where I just pretty much had all of them, and I had, for the regular Tetris, I had the highest possible, because in that mode you can only go so far in that before it cuts you off. Like, I think there's like 15 rounds, and then it cuts you off, and then it just stops there. So I had the farthest I could go in that without doing any of the fancy moves. Like, I had the highest possible score. I tried it several times to get a higher score, and without doing like your fancy moves that score you more points, or just doing like I can do Tetrises, which is score, getting 5, is it? Or is it 4? It's basically yeah, it's gotta be 4 in a row. Or is it 5? I'm looking. No, it's gotta be 4, because it's hard to tell with it's the length of the long blocks, the straight ones. But in this one, they're solid, so it's kind of, my mind is having a hard time calculating how many blocks it are. Yes. No, it's 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's 4. Okay. So that's a Tetris, and like, I think that would also score you more points, but that's a little it's also tricky to pull off constant Tetrises as well, especially as you go faster and faster. but I got to the point in that where I couldn't score any higher without changing my strategy a bit. Definitely a classic puzzle game, though. I don't think there's any person out there who says, Tetris is awful. Well, no, take that back. There's always that one person. There's always the one person who's like, you know, I know everyone loves this, but this is the worst thing ever. And you had to have that person to kind of set the balance. If everyone just likes something, you need to have perspective. Because in a lot of ways, having that person who says it's bad reminds you why you actually like it. So, thank you, person who hates everything. We appreciate you. I'm sometimes that person. On something. I feel like for the most part, I'm generally like everything. Occasionally, everyone likes something I'll kind of, and I'm just indifferent on it. I can't remember what the effect is called, but if everyone is in love with something and I don't like it, I'll be more, or anyone who's in that position will be more against this thing than they would have been if everyone was, you know, not going crazy over it. The best example I could say for me personally that anyone who's watched me knows is that Ocarina of Time is probably my least favorite Zelda game. And while I do love it and I think it's a great game because everyone likes Ocarina of Time, I end up being a little bit more hard on it than I should be. Because really, there's not too much to critique. It's just probably the one Zelda game I think that, besides the original Zelda, I think it's the one that did a lot in setting up the series, but other games have gone further from the basic formula that it set up for 3D Zeldas. But, yeah. Okay, we're at level 6. Still not doing too bad. There is so many renditions of the Tetris theme, like Brental Floss did a version of it. There's remixes with other lyrics to it, because you can easily put lyrics. It's a catchy tune. It's a Russian folk song. Actually, it's like everyone's like, oh, it's the Tetris theme. Well, originally it was actually a folk song. Tetris hijacked it, but now it's just the Tetris theme. And it's popular. I did an art project for Tetris actually when I was a freshman in college, and they my teacher, she's an amazing artist. She's really awesome and talented. But we had to make 3D blocks. Basically, it was some kind of geometric shape project or whatever. I can't remember what it was, but basically I did Tetris blocks, and I played the Tetris theme. I had basically, she wanted us to present it in a certain way, so I made this whole diorama with having the blocks on this Tetris field, and then I played the Tetris music, and she's like, oh, I know Tetris. That's like one of the few games she actually knows, because, you know, she wasn't really into the whole gaming thing. She wasn't really into video games, but Tetris, most people know Tetris. And even though I would say even Mario, like, even if they haven't played it, most people know of Mario. But I feel like Tetris is the game most people are gonna. It was the first, really, when you look at it. This is the first casual game to come out, or one of the first that pioneered casual game genres, because anyone can play Tetris. You don't need to be really into games or know all the facets of a certain game to, you know, be into Tetris. It's a pick up and play, and you're good to go type of game. That's why I hate when people say casual as a bad thing. No, casual is not a bad thing. It's just a game that's casual. You just play it, pick it up, play it, have fun with it, and you don't really get super invested in it. Alright, level 8. I'm still doing fairly decent. Nah. I would actually make up my own lyrics, but I'm sure I wouldn't come up with anything better than what's already out there. Plus, I'm just hearing the Brental Floss version of this anyway, because he's really good at coming up with catchy lyrics. dun, 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 dun. Pizza to call me. Nah, no, I was trying to make a food version, and nope, Brental floss. Alright. Well, I'm at 89 lines. I need to get up to... Okay, level 9, I need to get up to 100. That's my goal, and I'll stop. Because I could probably try and go further, but I know... Oh, messed up there. I know at that point it starts to get really fast at level 10. And, I think 100 is a good stopping point. It's a nice and even number. So let's see if I'll do it. I'm pretty low on the grid, and I only need 5 more, so good chance, though. I'm having a hard time maneuvering. That's the other thing, it's a little harder to move it to the sides as fast as you can compared to the... The blocks are hard to move in this. They a little bit more, again, clunky. Alright, 97. No. This song's really hummable. One more, come on, one more. Ah! No. Bad Tetrimos. I can't pronounce you either. Alright. There we go. Okay, we're done. So, I will see you guys next time for more puzzle madness. Until then, yeah, see you guys later.